My name is Ashley, and this is Let's Talk Dispatch.
I do. You're gonna do it really well.
And I believe the world needs more dispatchers.
Around in the mud, blood, and
plus
beer.
years that I'm not working 4th of July. 4th of July.
Saying community policing, right? What about community dispatching?
So on this show, with the help of my guests, we will educate, empower, and support the heroes behind the headset.
Right.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode here on Let's Talk Dispatch with me, Ashley, the Raspy Dispatcher. It's going to be a very special episode here because on August 30th, 2022, I published the very first official podcast episode of Let's Talk Dispatch. The vision for the podcast was simple: for dispatchers, by dispatchers. The show aimed to answer questions for aspiring dispatchers about the application process, individual dispatchers' journey, and the growth that this field has seen over the years, as well as providing resources and tools and a place to connect for current dispatchers. All gearing up to say loud enough for the folks in the back to hear that the world needs more dispatchers. So what have we accomplished over the last 365 days? Well, we've published 61 episodes. That means at least 61 individuals have been willing to come on to the show, share their journey, experiences, tools, resources with me and you all. And I am so beyond grateful and thankful for each and every one of those folks who have been willing to come onto the show. And from those 61 episodes, we have had over 7,600 podcast downloads. Now, for those of you who are listening to wherever it is that you listen to your favorite podcast, we also have the podcast published on my YouTube channel, The Raspy Dispatcher. And from the YouTube channel, we have an additional 6,300 views of the video podcast that we put out as well. So many views, so many listeners, so many folks tuning in to what we are doing here at the Let's Talk Dispatch podcast. You know, for the branch of emergency services that are so often heard but rarely ever seen, we are out here front and center representing dispatchers on the Let's Talk Dispatch podcast. For everyone who has been a part of this journey so far, thank you. Thank you to all of my guests who have been willing to come onto the show and share their stories. I don't know if you folks realize this, but 95% of the people who come onto the show with me are strangers. We have never met other than virtually through a couple email exchanges or none, because they just find my show and are willing to come on blindly and interview with me, a complete stranger. And some of the topics we cover are heavy. You know, this line of work can be a bit heavy. So for these folks who come onto my show before we have that conversation are essentially strangers and are willing to be vulnerable with me and ultimately vulnerable with our viewers, simply thank you so much for your courage, because our stories need to be told. To my listeners, thank you so much for tuning in, hitting that subscribe button, leaving reviews, telling friends. All of those things are so helpful to spreading the awareness that the world needs more dispatchers. So again, thank you all for the last year, and happy birthday, Let's Talk Dispatch. We are just getting started. If you're looking to get involved with the podcast, here's a few easy ways to do so. First, we're always looking for folks to come onto the show and share their stories and resources and experiences. And this is a really easy thing to do. You just head to the raspydispatcher.com. Under podcast tab, there is a Be My Guest section. Go ahead and click that button. It'll take you to a calendar, and you pick a date and time that works for you, and we'll come on and we'll have a super chill conversation about your journey in the first responder world. For folks who are like, what? Ashley, I have nothing to talk about. Yes, you do. Your story should be told just as much as anyone else's. So please reach out, come onto the show and chat with me, and let's share our experience. The next way to get involved with the podcast is simply by hitting that subscribe button wherever you listen to podcasts and leaving a 5-star review, either by clicking the 5-star or clicking the 5-star and writing a little review. All those things help up our ratings and get us in front of more folks so we can continue to spread the message the world needs more dispatchers. Lastly, share the podcast with a friend. These are easy, free ways to help contribute to what we're doing here at Let's Talk Dispatch Podcast. Thank you for being a voice to so many 911 operators. Love listening to the different guests and learning from each and every one of them. I absolutely love getting to listen to people in the field. I'm currently in the application and hiring process of joining an agency in dispatching. I love hearing the tips and tricks, the firsthand experience, all of it. It has made me so excited to get in that headset and be able to put everything into practice as a shift worker. Ashley has given me so much assistance with going through the application process. I am just extremely grateful. Thank you for your podcast and YouTube channel. It truly served out as a phenomenal resource during my hiring process. I start orientation Monday, and because of your podcast, I feel more encouraged and confident. That is what this show, this channel, this LLC is all about, is giving folks the tools, resources, and knowledge to help them enter and have a long career as a dispatcher. Happy 1 year Let's Talk Dispatch. Thank you all for the continued love and support. And until next time, stay raspy, everybody.